Welcome back, fans and friends, for this upcoming video. I managed to find another Greenlight that I wanted, and this is the vehicle that originally started this trend of the pickup truck based off of car chases. Obviously, it is far older than what people are experiencing now with the Honda Ridgeline and everything else. So this is Blue Collar Series 11, limited edition. We can know all that stuff. The 1972 Ford Ranchero 500. So this would be probably the base model because it doesn't say GT or anything, and we're going to see what they've decided to do there. As we can see, is put the silver on the gray, the ink I mean, which makes it extremely hard to read. So the dates, production, all that stuff. So we already know it contains one type gas vehicle, 1/64 scale, series 11. I have done a bunch of these ones now. I have done this one. I've now going to do this one. I've done that one, and I've done that one there. I saw those two on the shelf. Didn't get them, but I don't know if I'm going to get the whole series because this one, I imagine, is very similar to the hitch and tone, and I've done before, and I've done quite a few 1990s era Ford Broncos. Anyway, and obviously it's the Workers Collection. So we have Michelin Tire, Ram, GM, Ford, and Dodge, which is also a part of FCA, these two things here. The 17322 14562 WB is what we will be looking for on the bottom of the vehicle. So just going to go ahead and get it out. I managed to get this the day after I got the Skyline, and I was really excited because you know what? They're very hard to find, and they're not very common, and it was actually one of two on the shelf, but the other one on the shelf had a bigger gap than that, and I just didn't want to take the risk. So as we can see here, we had the Pennzoil on the Dodge D100, and so this one has the Quaker State, but strangely enough, we don't see Quaker State on the back of that packaging. So as everybody just saw, rather quickly, it does come with an accessory, and that I think is the third time that the vehicle in this Blue Collar series has come with this type of an accessory. The Silverado came with the this thing as well, the cover, and the Chevrolet Durango also came with the bed cover as well. I'm really hoping the engine opens, but we will get to that near the end. So just going over quickly, I've already pretty much covered this side. The gas cap is there, probably going to be the only major difference. On the back there, we see Ranchero in cursive writing, and the 500, which is to the rear of it, no GT or anything like that. Quaker State on the pearlescent paint, door handles, the border for the windows. There's the indicator. We go to the front. This is the Ranchero based off the Terreno rather than the pony car chases it used before, so there's complaints about it being heavier and bigger and this and that. But unfortunately, I don't have I have a Terreno from 2 years later, and it's much, much larger, but also it has the square front plus the box lights, the inserts, so it is probably not directly comparable to this. Nice and easy to see into the cabin, although it is a little bit, we can see a little bit of an issue there. And one little mispaint there. Moving on to the right side of the vehicle, pretty much the same. I'll put that there. There again, we have Ranchero and 500. From left to right reading. So far, I don't see any major issues with the wheels, and that's a good thing because they seem to roll very well. So hopefully when I do the roll test towards the end of the video, we're not going to have any issues. Ford, a nice big block letters right across the middle of the back. We can see the lights there. Fortunately, this does not open, so we can't tell anything else about it. We have a little bit of in welding it's called spatter, but you can see this is casting. Probably the same thing, and where it's just left over needs to be filed down. I might do it later. The problem is it's really close to the muffler here, so I don't want to damage it. I probably have to be more careful than I'm normal. The bed is nice and even, very few issues, just that little thing in the middle, but I mean, we can see clearly to the front steering wheel on the left side there, so they did a good job there. And then right to the bottom of the vehicle, so the top of it is where we see the Ford Ranchero 1972. Nothing about the 500, so it's once again something that you will have it literally written on the car itself. No mention whatsoever of GT, so it's probably not the GT model. Don't need to complain about that. 17322. We can see just there. So it's the exact same as what is written on the back of the packaging. Really odd when they put them very far apart. The GL number, if anybody is referencing it, is just in the bottom there. And it is either a fairly new casting, so 2018, relatively new, 5 years now. And it is 163A. So the GL number, for those keeping track, is 163A. And finally, before I pop the hood, I have been fortunate the last few Greenlights. Actually, this one has no wobble whatsoever and rolls very well. So the one major issue I foresee is that the trailer bed cover is not going to stay on. Like you saw how easily it fell off. It's probably going to keep falling off like that. And now I am just going to pop the hood. Once again, I had to use my tool. I was worried because everybody knows that Vista Cruiser I cannot pop the hood off of, so it does. The one thing about the wheels too, just before we take a look at the engine, is there's a lot of space. So in the future I might trim it down. You can see the huge gap there. Either it's not been squeezed properly, but I cannot physically squeeze it anymore. It needs to be trimmed down, and the rear wheel is sharing that same issue as well. Anyway, keeping it short and sweet, there's the engine. Awfully similar to the, let me see if I have it nearby, the Thelma and Louise Black Bandit, but it looks actually, sorry, not Black Bandit, Ford Thunderbird, that I happen to have the Thelma and Louise version of. So it does, the air filter at the top is much smaller, looks awfully similar, but it is not the same. I will just bring it out. I also have this hardtop Ford Thunderbird. Now obviously these cars are almost 8 years apart, so they are probably not using the same engine, but as you can see there, it is extremely similar. But even more similar to that, I should probably be using the Torino that I already have, but it is nowhere near me, so I will not. Anyway, just for a quick reference. But anyway, that was the Thunderbird Thermal Louise. So there we go, the good engine detail. We have the silver on blue surrounded by green and the black at the front, and nothing much else to complain about. I don't see too many gaps or things other than what can easily be filed down and or trimmed. But like I said, on the shelf they did have a few where there was bigger gaps, and I did not have as much trouble getting this hood open. So yeah, and you can even do it with your fingers. I didn't actually need a tool. And it wants to stay up, so there we have it. Ford Ranchero. I've been looking for this since I got the El Caminos. Wasn't originally a huge fan of them, but here we are. I don't happen to have any of those Caminos nearby, or the Caballero, so I will just quickly go over the accessory. It is a simple plastic piece, and it has the paneling on the other side that you can clearly see through. A little bit of an issue there, but it's not serious. Oh, it's on the same side, so it's probably meant to be there. And then you have the little tabs on the other side to make it fit. And then on it goes. So the issue is you see how easy it falls off. It's going to be an issue. But other than that, I can honestly say you do get one accessory, so it's not just the die-cast vehicle. You get the die-cast vehicle plus this one piece that goes on like that. So there you have it, fans and friends. I will cut this video off. I did happen to like this one. Probably much more than I like those Caminos, because this one has the opening hood. Plus you got the extra accessory that wants to fall off, but I'd rather have it than not have it. So, thanks for watching this video. This is Tumnus from Toronto, and till the next one.